Soledad, can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Can you connect your microphone?
Yes, yes.
All right. Were you here last class?
Hello.
Hello. Were you here last class on Friday?
I think I study
All right. Think about it then. Lorena, how are you?
14 April.
Yep. 14. Correct. All right. Carol, Lorena, how are you?
I'm good. I've tried to catch up with some of the lessons, and in this week coming, because I stopped working, I will work a lot on that. But there a lot of lessons are not on Accelerate.
All right. The last class is in Accelerate though, isn't it? How you guys check?
The last one, no, I don't. Is it?
Would you mind to share your screen with me and I show you how to find it?
I don't know if I can.
All right.
Because I'm on the phone.
Oh, okay. But it is the classes are in Accelerate.
Okay.
Probably you don't know how to find them. I can show you. Let me show you how to find them.
I generally go to the calendar.
Yes, they are in the calendar, correct. So I will log in as you. Just give me 1 second. Can you see my screen, Lorena?
Yes.
Okay. Oh. There are some, we had 2 weeks holidays though in Easter, remember? So obviously we don't have classes those days.
Yeah, but for example, the lesson you did instead of the 7, it was on a Monday for once.
Yes, no, that one is not there.
That's not there. Okay.
Yeah. That one is not there because unfortunately it wasn't recorded. It was an issue with the system and, it was not recorded that day. But
okay, but there are more that are missing.
Okay. Check.
Hello, Santi.
Hello, my friend. Yeah, the class is there. You need to press this button that says watch recording. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you click there, it will show the class.
Because of the proximity, isn't it?
So this was our last class.
Okay.
But I will check everything. The other one previous week is there too. So that's what you gotta do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. Okay, guys. Let me stop the sharing. Beautiful.
Santi, can I tell you something before we start the class?
Sure.
It's because I had an accident like 2 weeks ago doing Uber Eats my bike, and today they asked me to go at 11 to the doctor because I was asking for Uber to like help me with these days I couldn't work.
Okay.
They asked me to go today at 11. So if you don't mind, I can still connect it to the class, but I couldn't have my camera on.
That's okay.
11 to 12.
I understand that. Meanwhile, please connect your camera. But once you need to
just
go.
Arriving home.
Sure.
I'm arriving home.
Thank you for that. All right. Juan, thank you. Look, guys, so this is our second class for research international markets. Okay. So last class, not this one, last class we learned about how to research international markets. We talk about how to do market research. We talk about the positives, the negatives of doing market research. We talk about qualitative and the difference with quantitative market research. And also we discuss a little bit about how technology today is helping us to avoid long, expensive market research. So that was the last class. That was the last class in a nutshell, right? So in this class, the second one, we need to evaluate, we need to assess your knowledge in that particular area, which is research international markets. For that, we need to do one online quiz and we need to do one observation assessment today. So please go to your Accelerate and let's start with the online quiz. So we did the lesson last class. This class we do the online quiz and the observation. So I will give you 2-3 minutes. Obviously, Juan, don't worry about it. I can see that you're writing. But everybody else, please go to Accelerate and open the online quiz because we are going to start working on that online quiz right now.
Santi.
Yeah, Mercedes, go ahead.
Hi. Yeah. So which one it is? Sorry.
So the class is Research International Markets. The code is 432. 432. The last
Okay.
three numbers of the class 432, and is the second session because we did one last class last week. Sorry.
432.
432. Research
Yeah.
National Markets 432.
1 second.
Mhm.
Okay.
So,
Workshop.
yeah, the idea is to complete that online quiz today. So next week we start fresh with a new class. All right, super important for everybody else.
Okay, give me 1 second because I cannot find the quiz.
Okay, take your time. Take your time. Do you know how to find it?
I think so. So it's the 432.
432. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I click on it.
You click on it.
Complete workshop. Yeah, well, I'm here, but
Okay.
1 second.
It's in the lesson plan, in the learning plan, sorry. So I will give you guys, everybody, 2-3 minutes to find it. Otherwise, I will show you how to find it.
Okay. So where is the research international market in the observation? No, the quiz.
The online quiz, please. You need to find the online quiz.
Yeah.
The observation we do.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So try
The
to find
observation we do it after?
after, straight after.
Okay, cool. I got it. Santi, no te puedo escuchar. I cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Please try to find your online quiz and give me 1 minute, please. Try to find your online quiz. Once you find it, we will start working on it. Just give me 1 minute, please, guys. Okay, guys, sorry about that. All right, cool. Everybody has the online quiz apart from Juan Manuel? Beautiful. So let's start work.
I see just online quiz
Yep, Sudarat,
435. I can
432.
see
432. You
432.
cannot see it. Share your screen with me, Sudarat, and I show you how to find it.
Okay.
Sorry about this, guys. Let's just wait 5 minutes for this to be resolved. All right. Sudarat, nothing?
Nothing.
I will show you how to do it. All right. Have a look at my screen, please. So this is your name, isn't it? And you see my screen. Beautiful. So I'm going to launch as if I were you. Learning plan here. And this is the online quiz. Can you see it?
Okay. Wait.
So that's what you need to do. That's all. So I'm going to show you one more time what you need to do. All right.
Okay.
You go to the certificate 4 in marketing and communications, which is the one that we're doing now. You click on it, and then you go to your learning plan. And this is the lesson that we did last week. You need to complete that lesson. Now we do the online quiz, and later on we do the observation. That's all. All right. Cool. So I need everybody there, please. Sabrina, how are you? Sabrina?
Hi, teacher. Sorry. How good are you?
Beautiful, Sabrina, but we need to work on the online quiz. Let me know if you're ready, because we need to do this together.
Okay.
All right. So everybody, please, camera on and online quiz. Question number 1, Maria, please.
It says, identify international markets to research from brief or manager. Please consider you're an international marketing assistant working for a Brisbane startup. When is a good time for you to start researching international markets?
All right, all right. Let's think about it then. Let's think about it. You know, when is a good time for us to start doing international market research? So just to give you the context, you know, the context of the situation, you are doing a certificate 4. That means that you will not be the one making decisions in the company, all right? You will be supporting a manager. You may be the coordinator, but you are not the manager yet. You know, for you to be the manager, you need to land diploma or advanced diploma. But you are doing a good role as a coordinator, as a support a member of the marketing department. So having that in consideration, you are a coordinator, you are supporting staff, you are not making decisions when to do something, how to do something. Not yet, one day, but not yet. When, then is a good time to start doing international market research. Tell me. Any idea? All right, I'm going to give you the context one more time, because you need the context to answer this question. You are doing a certificate 4. In Australia, we have education that is divided into different segments: certificate 2, certificate 3, certificate 4, which is the one that you're doing, diploma, advanced diploma, bachelor degree. You know that, guys? Are you aware of it? So you are like in the middle of a professional career kind of thing, all right? That means that you are not ready yet to make decisions about when to start doing international market research, because you have a manager in top of you, you have a supervisor, you have what we call a boss, Yeah. So when is a good time to start doing international market research in your particular case?
I would say before we know in which where are we gonna work, like before everything, no? So we know in which situation are we gonna be involved.
Agree, but try to take in consideration what I'm telling you. You are not yet ready to make decisions. You cannot say tomorrow, all right, you know what? You cannot go to your office tomorrow. Let's imagine that you are working in an office. So you cannot go to the office tomorrow and say, you know what? I want to do international market research today. You cannot do that. What do you need before you start doing it?
And then wait for our boss to tell us where are we gonna work.
That's it. That's it. You need the manager's approval. You need the manager's. So when is a good time to start doing international market research? When your boss, when your supervisor is telling you to do it, is authorizing you to do it. This is important, guys, because we need to follow hierarchies. We need to follow procedures and policies. And that's why we came to these classes, to learn how to do this in a real workplace environment. So when is a good time? When your manager, when your supervisor is telling you, hey, Maria, tomorrow, start doing market research. And this company is in Brisbane, and this company is in this industry, and these are the main competitors. Please start doing international market research. Okay? So when to do market research? When your manager, your supervisor, your boss, your director is telling you to do so. Of course, as soon as that supervisor, that manager is telling you to do market research, straight away, you cannot delay international market research. You need to do it straight away, but only if you have managerial approval, only if you have your manager's approval. You got it, guys? All right, in the chat, let me find the chat. Let me find the chat. All right, so in the chat for the question one, I will give you a little bit of a help, all right? A guideline to do that one. Please don't copy and paste this, because this is not an answer. It's just a little bit of help for you to understand. So have a look at the chat. The best starting point for researching an international market is when your manager requires you to do so. Your research would come up with enough insights for your manager to consult then with key stakeholders about why the company's products would be successful outside your local market. So once you have management approval, once you have management approval, it is important to start researching international markets as early as possible. So ideally, market research should be conducted before entering the new market or before expanding operations into a new region. Because that's why we call ourselves marketing professionals, all right? We are working on becoming marketing professionals. So once we have the approval, boom, we do the market research, and we don't launch a product, we don't open operations overseas if we have not done international market research. So conducting market research early, as soon as you have the approval from your manager, will give you a better understanding of the market you are interested in, isn't it? And it will help you as well to identify, listen up, it will help you as well to identify any potential challenges or opportunities as well. I mean, you do the market research before you enter the new market, it will help you to find potential challenges, but also opportunities. So this is what you need to write in that particular question, all right? Market research will help you to understand the cultural, the economic, the legal factors that eventually can affect your business in a new market. Guys, as I told you last week, it's not easy. It's not easy to open a new market because the legislation is different. The currency is different. You are not familiar with the competitors. You may be not familiar with the language of that market. So it's challenging. So to manage those challenges, we do market research. If we do market research, then our decisions or the decisions that management is taking will be more accurate, will be based on data, on information. And finally, conducting international market research early will also help you to identify gaps in your current product or your service offerings. You may want to tweak, you may want to change a little bit your product, your services to fit properly that new market. So when you do the international market research, you may find as well those gaps. You know, some brands need to be changed because the word will mean something that is not appropriated in a different market. So you may not change the product, but you may change the brand so it reads properly. So it is important to start differentiating yourself from competitors and to gain competitive advantage. All right. Orhan, we are doing the online quiz for the Unit 432, Research International Markets. And we have just completed the first question. Thank you, Michael, for helping Orhan with that. All right, so in the chat, a little bit of a guideline for you to answer that question, but please don't copy and paste. Don't copy and paste. All right, fantastic. So please, again, cameras on for everyone participating on the class today, cameras on, because the observation that we do afterwards needs to be done with cameras on. So this will help you to get into the mood of what is coming. All right, question number 2, please, anyone?
International market research can be an important part of your business strategy. It provides a chance to understand potential.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Understand potential international customers, identify market trends and opportunities across the globe, understand and better service your own domestic market better by considering consumer needs outside of your region, and all of the above.
All right, what do you think is the right answer then?
All of the above.
Correct. Correct. All of the above, of course. international market research is an important part of your business strategy. Of course, it is very, very important. But why it is important? Because it will help you to understand potential international customers, how they think, how they buy, how much they pay for the service and products you provide in the local market. So you start profiling them, you start understanding them. You know, what is their demographics, how old they are, where they live, how often they buy what you sell, and so on. Right. So the first one, 100%. The second one, identify market trends. Of course, the more you research, the more you expand, the more familiar you are with new international market trends. And then you are going to capitalize on international and global opportunities. So the second one is correct too. And then to understand and better service your own customers, of course, because as if you start understanding more and more different categories of customers, that means that your local base will be better served because you will have a global knowledge, and that will help you to make differentiations in terms of how you offer those products to your local market too. So yeah, for the question number 2, please, everyone, please mark all of the above. All of the above for question number 2. Question number 3.
It is expected that you can identify and confirm research objectives for international market research. Below are some objectives. Please mark those you find more aligned with international market research. The first, to protect the business brand in the new market, identify direct competitors, verified market prices for the product or service you want to compete with, and verified viability of the business venture.
All right, so let's have a look at this question. It is expected that you can identify first and then confirm research objectives. It is expected. Remember that in management, in business, we need to know what are the objectives that we're trying to achieve, so we all work towards achieving it. So first of all, what is the objective? The objective could be to explore an international market. The objective could be to start selling to an international market. The objective could be to develop a partnership with a local seller, with a local distributor. So, but the question is giving us the following options that could be objectives. Let me know if that is an objective or not. So the first objective is to protect the business brand in the new market. All right. How important it may be. Probably you don't want to sell there, but you want to protect your brand in China. You want to protect your brand in Indonesia. You want to protect your brand in Paraguay. All right. So that could be a good objective in terms of doing international market research. The second objective, to identify competitors in that local market. So you may do market research to identify competitors in that local market, in that overseas market. Yeah, that could be a really good objective too. So I will be ticking that one too. To verify market prices, how much is the value of what I sell in China? How much is the value of the price of what I sell in Argentina? So probably market research will give us those answers too. And probably it is important to do market research. Actually, definitely, it is important to do market research to verify if my business is viable in that country. If there is no legislation that is stopping me to run my business in that country. So I don't know, what do you think? But I think that for question number 3, ticking all the potential answers is what you should do. Try, let me know if the quiz is giving you if the platform is giving you the right answer, the positive answer.
It's correct.
It's correct? Good. Good. Any questions so far? This is basically what we discussed last class anyway, isn't it? But now we are just doing the evaluation of it. So now let's do question number 4. Cameras on, everyone that is coming to the class, please. Question number 4.
Identifying and accessing quality sources of information in any new market is a critical component of your research. Please select some resources of information you will consider when preparing your research. It says, new market LinkedIn industry pages and groups you may join, industry associations in the new markets, industry and government's website, conferences, industry shows, and other conventions.
All right. Maria, what do you think about the first one? New market linking industry pages. What do you think about that?
I think, yes, it's important to show.
It is important. Remember, guys, we talk about linking. Linking, they have groups. They have industry pages. So if you search for the industry pages for the groups in that particular country that you want to explore, that is going to give you a lot of information, a lot of data that will be useful for your market research, for your international market research. So using linking to find out groups, pages, industry associations in the new market that you are pursuing is a very, very smart move. Not using linking is the opposite. Not using linking is the opposite. Is not going to work. Like if you guys in today's market, you want to explore a new market and you don't use linking, you are missing 60, 65, 70% of information. Because the leaders, the decision makers of those companies, believe me, are all in linking. So, and they participate in groups. They are associated with industry pages. Probably they created those industry pages. So if you follow those pages, if you comment those pages, if you connect with those leaders in that new market using linking, that will help you a lot with your international market research. This is what people do. When they want to open a new market, they start connecting with people in that. Before they travel, before they go there, they use linking to start connecting with them. So the first one, 100%, we got a ticket. The second one, industry associations. How good is that? For me, industry associations is one of the most important components of we doing international market research. Because industry associations are so powerful, guys. Like each company that belongs to that industry is giving money every month, usually, every month to that industry association. So the industry association survives. At the end of the year, those industry associations, they provide awards to the best businesses in this industry. Also, industry associations are so important to lobby politicians. So they help your business, they help your industry. So industry associations, like manufacturing associations of Australia, automotive associations of Australia, pharmaceutical association of Australia, those associations, they are very, very, very powerful, especially in countries like Australia. They have a lot of power. They have money. Every business that participates in that association is helping that association with funds, with money. The associations themselves, they do market research or they provide information if you need it. Every country has an exportation association. Every country. Every country has an education association. Every country has, gardeners association, builders association. Like the Builders Associations of Australia is so powerful, guys. You cannot imagine how powerful the Builders Association of Australia is. It's so powerful that they can tell universities and TAFEs what should be included in the pensions, in the programs. So 100%, that has to be ticket. And don't forget, we need to follow and we need to be aware what are the industry associations related to our business in the country of destiny. Very important. The third one, new markets, industry, and government websites. Of course. Once you're ready and you define what is the market, you need to find what is the government website that is talking about how to regulate that industry you want to participate in. Of course, it's extremely important to do that research too. And finally, conferences, industry shows, and other conventions. That's what you need to do. If you are serious about international market research, you need to travel, you need to go to conferences, you need to go to the shows. Imagine that your company is selling boats, all right? So you need to go to the Miami Boat Show, all right? Or if your company is into manufacturing, all right? You need to go to the Guangdong a commercial show in Guangzhou. You need to be able to travel and to participate in these conferences, events, and shows. So with that information that I just gave you, please tick whatever you think is important for question number 4 and give it a go. All right, so that is the first part of the assessment, all right? This assessment, guys, is divided in 3 big chunks. The first one is about how to perform international market research, which is what we have done, by consulting with management, by understanding market associations and industry associations, by understanding the difference in terms of culture, language, legislation that we have in that new market, by understanding the linking groups that we can use to connect for us to know more about that new market and so on. So that's what we did for the first part of this assessment. The second part is actually to perform the market research. So this assessment component, the one that we're starting now with question number 5, is designed to evaluate your understanding of various aspects of conducting market research, including analysis of information sources, how good they are they reliable? Because the sources need to be good for the result of the market research to be good. Of course, that makes a lot of sense, isn't it? All right, you need to identify the trends. You need to find out what is influencing, the local, the potential new market that you want to start capitalizing on. So in this second part of the assessment, you need to demonstrate your ability to analyze information sources based on specific task requirements, of course. So that's what I want you guys to understand. We are doing a second component of the assessment. So that second component of the assessment starts with the question number 5. If anyone can read, please, to me the question number 5, that will be appreciated.
What is the key factor in developing reliable solutions to international research problems? Avoiding discussions with your manager, conducting research in isolation, comfortably discussing problems with your manager, or ignoring the input of colleagues.
What do you think?
I don't know. I'll read again in my mind.
What is that? Which
I'll
one?
read again in my mind.
Please read. So the question is, what is the key? So it's 1, isn't it? What is the key factor? What is the most important thing in developing reliable solutions to international research problems? Because you will find a lot of problems, guys. As you advance with your research, you will find a lot of problems. So what is a good solution to solve those problems? What is a good solution? The first one, the first answer is telling you, just avoid discussions with your manager. Don't tell him what the problem is. Avoid the discussion with your manager. Don't tell anything. Number two is telling you, do the market research yourself without consultation from stakeholders. The third one is telling you, you know what? Just discuss the problems with your manager. It's all good. That's why that person is your manager. If you find a problem, straight away discuss it with your manager. Number four, you get information from your colleagues and you ignore that information. So out of these four options, which one is the one that you should mark to pass the question number 5?
The third one?
I think so. Yes, I think so. Because, guys, believe me, a lot of what we do in this certificate for is to give you skills to discuss issues with your manager. But now you can do it because you have knowledge. When you don't have knowledge, it is impossible to sustain a conversation with a good manager. But the knowledge that you're getting now is helping you. So of course, if there is a challenge, go and talk to your manager. And this question is evaluating precisely that. How aware you are that if you encounter a problem, you need to discuss it. You cannot avoid it. That is the point of this question. A lot of people avoid it. A lot of people, just to say, I don't want to get into trouble. I don't say anything. Boom, an accident. An accident, or I don't want to discuss this with my manager because I don't want my manager to think that I'm not prepared. Boom, a fine from the government because you did something wrong, and that will be worst. So please discuss it. Please discuss any decision or any proposal, Vela, with your manager. Maria, what do you think about that? You agree with that? You agree that it's better to consult, to talk to you that you have a problem?
Of course,
But
always.
Maria, but you probably agree with me that sometimes, like fresh professionals, amateurs, people that is just starting up, they feel afraid of asking questions, yeah? And sometimes they don't say what is the problem, and they try to solve it by themselves, and that is worst. That is what we should.
Yeah. That's something that you will see a lot, actually.
A lot.
When
A lot. So let's not do that. It's always better to ask.
Yeah, especially because, like, in my experience, things come up when the deadlines are like super close. So that's a problem. So it's always better to ask and discuss things.
Yeah, and that's why they are your managers, guys. Like managers, in reality, managers work for you. People think, oh, I am working for my manager. No, it's actually the opposite. The managers are there to help you out, so you can see them as a support that is professional, that has experience, not to avoid it, not at all. So good one. Thank you, Maria, for that. So, yeah, having open, comfortable communications between you and your manager is essential, all right, to develop reliable solutions for international market research. It allows you to share insights and perspectives. It allows you to address potential issues as well. And more importantly, it allows you to improve the quality of your market research. All right, cool. Question number 6, please.
Please reflect on the following and write your analysis in the space provided below. We use data to tell compelling stories.
All right, guys, that question is perhaps the most important one of this online quiz. Sounds like a very simple question, but it's not. You really need to think about it. You really need to think about it. So I will give you guys 5 minutes. All right, I will give you guys 5 minutes to work on that question. Afterwards, I'm going to be asking those of you who are present in the class, what is your answer? And if the answer is good enough, that will help you a lot, 50%, 60% with the observation assessment that is coming. So 5 minutes for you guys to answer that question. And if you give me your input, your insight, that will count for your observation assessment. It's not a break, it's you working on this for 5 minutes and you're done. All right. Tell me, what do you think? Carla.
I'm still writing my answer, but I can read you what I have for now.
Please.
I answer, analyzing data could work very good to tell compelling stories because in base of people interactions with products, we can create them a profile, analyze their most likely actions with their different characteristics and context, then can create a compelling stories to help our product to be successful in their market. And that is what I have.
Yeah, you're getting close. You're getting close. That's good. Let's continue with that. But you are in the right track. Maria, what do you think?
I think that as a marketer, it's important to understand the story that the data can tell us about the behavior of the customers, and analyzing this data is it's like a story because it tells how the customers have different behaviors in the world and with the product, and it helps to like personalize more the actions.
Correct. Well done. It's just like with Carla, we're in the right track. All of that is good. Juan Manuel, tell me.
Well,
Why-
I agree with my colleagues, and I think that if we know this data, will have more meaning to create better campaigns and being more engaged, create engagement with the audience.
That's it. That is it. Thank you. Perfect. That is what I want you guys to answer. Stories are more engaging than numbers. That's it. Because a lot of people, guys, they go to the conference, they go to the meeting, and they provide a lot of numbers and graphics and percentages that are not easy for people to understand. Guys, we don't talk using data. I don't go with my class like, this is 20% of our class, and now we are going to do 40% of what you need to know in order to pass 70% of your assessment. I don't talk like that. We don't talk like that. So we need to use stories that are built, of course, using those numbers, those percentages. But we need to develop stories, and those stories will be definitely more engaging than just graphics and raw data. So that's what I want you guys to understand. Good market researchers, they do not provide information with numbers, percentages, and graphics. Good market researchers, they provide information through stories. Storytelling, though, is a key skill of any marketing professional. Key. To be honest, guys, I will be swapping 2 or 3 units of this program just to explain to you or to teach you storytelling. Seriously. So just remember that stories are engaging, and that is the key word. I need each one of you guys somehow to use that word, engaging, in your answer. Somehow. Everything is correct. What Maria said is correct. Maria, add the word engaging. Carla, what you said is correct. Add somehow the word engaging, because that is what I am specifically assessing in that particular question. All right? I will give you a little bit of help. Again, this is a guideline. This is not the answer. Don't copy and paste this, but use it as information for you to complete that question. So in the chat now, give me 1 second. What question is that one? What is the number of that question, guys?
6.
Questions.
6.
Good. So in the chat now, a little bit of information that you can cross-reference with what you have already written. Maria, do you have access to the chat? Can you see what I'm copying and pasting in the chat?
Yes, I have. Thank you.
All right. So
I can't see in the chat what you just put on. I can't see what you put in the chat.
yeah, probably. Let me see what happened. Yep, correct. Correct. Let me see. I will fix it now. So have a look at the chat again. Better now? No, it's not copying. Just let me see what is happening.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
I can see it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, good, good. All right, let's do question. Let's do question number 7, all right? But question number 7 is part of our last block in terms of this assessment. It's part of our last building block of this assessment, okay? So now what we need to understand is how to finalize the research. This is the last component of your assessment. So this last component of your assessment is designed to evaluate your ability to develop marketing recommendations based on research. So now that you have done the research, how can you give then marketing recommendations to your manager? So you need to demonstrate in the next few questions, please, your ability to write, to speak about marketing recommendations. You will need to apply what you have learned. You will need to apply what you have learned about market research. So once you have developed these recommendations, you will need to document them. So it's not just about saying, I'm going to recommend something. No, it's about you saying, all right, I will recommend something and I'm going to send an email. I'm going to send a formal report. So managers and the company as a whole, they have a record of those recommendations. Hopefully, those recommendations will be clearly articulated. They will be supported by evidence, of course. It's not just that you write because that's what you think. You have data. Remember that we talk about data. So you have data, you have evidence to support those recommendations. And of course, those recommendations need to be aligned with your overall business strategy and marketing strategy. So that is what we are doing now. We are not conducting market research. We are not preparing market research. We are finalizing market research. So question number 7 is telling us, all right, so what are the key considerations for developing market recommendations? What are the key considerations for developing marketing recommendations, based on international market research? And how can you document these recommendations according to organizational policies and procedures? So I will give you a couple of minutes for you to start doing this. So think, what are the key considerations for developing market and marketing recommendations? What could be the key considerations? One key consideration, guys, super important, and we discussed it last class, is cultural differences. Remember that we talked about that last class, in the previous class? So you need to write recommendations that will take in consideration cultural differences between you and the market that you are trying to open. Another key recommendation, market trends. We talked about that last class. Your consideration should be aligned to market trends. Because if your recommendations are not aligned with market trends, people will not like them. Customers will not buy it. But also, as Maria said before, we need to understand consumer behavior. Or Carla, I don't remember who was, but we talked just before about consumer behavior. So you need to take in consideration consumer behavior and also competition. Your marketing recommendations should be based on the analysis that you did as well, not just about cultural differences, not just about market trends, not just about consumer behavior, but also about the competitors that you will be encountering, fighting with in that new market. All these recommendations, guys, they should be documented in the company's system according to policies and procedures of that very company. And these recommendations, probably they need to follow a particular formatting, Word, PDF, Excel, I don't know. Each company have a format for people like you to write recommendations. When you submit these recommendations as well, please ensure the accuracy, the validity of the data that you are providing in that recommendation. Because if you are taking data from 2020, today, 2023, probably things are different. Actually, you know that things are very different. Super important to use reliable sources. Super important to use reliable sources and, to support what you are writing. So a little bit of help for that question number 7 in the chat. Okay. So now let's go to the question number 8, please. So question number 8 is telling you, all right, it looks like you are ready to enter this new market, whatever it is. This means you have covered all your information needs. Everything that you needed to know, now you have it as stories, not as data, remember. Now you have it as stories, the result of data interpretation, of course. Now you can start finalizing your research and provide insights to the business. So please select from the options below information you could include in your final report. So options, competitors in the new market. I think that should be included in the report. What do you think? What do you think? Should we include competitors in the market report or not? 100%, isn't it? Of course. So our report to finalize the market research is including the list, not of all competitors, no, but those 4 competitors that will be fighting for the same market share that you will be fighting for, right? So we call these direct competitors. You also have indirect competitors, but we don't need to worry about indirect competitors yet. So let's imagine that you have a company and your company is called BMW. What could be a direct competitor of BMW? Tell me.
Audi.
Audi, 100%, but not Renault, but not Kia, not motorbikes, because a motorbike could be, but it's not direct. You know, a South Korean brand may be a competitor, but it's not a direct competitor, though. Because people that buy Audis, they also buy Mercedes, they also buy BMWs, and so on. So in that report, we need to include direct competitors, the ones that are fighting for the same market share that you are. Also, we need to include what are those strengths of those competitors, the weaknesses of those competitors that we highlighted in that report. Information, we should as well include information that we have about the market, that we have about the customers. So not just information about people, but you need to talk with people from other industries that somehow could give you insights about how it is to do business in that new country. You know, like not just the industry in which you participate, but other people, other companies will give you as well some indications about if that new market is good or not. You also need to include information in that report about what is the market size, how many people potentially could buy your products in that new market, what are the legislations of that new market. That is important because something that you could do here in Australia, probably you will not be able to do in New Zealand or in Indonesia. Example, in New Zealand, if you sell, for example, if you're a farmer, if you are a farmer in New Zealand, you cannot export cattle. You cannot export live animals that will be used in abattoirs. You cannot. Are you aware of it? Anybody knows this? In New Zealand, it is forbidden to do that. Also, you cannot import live animals because they believe it is a very cruel practice to do so. So if you are in that industry, you cannot think, oh, you know what, I'm going to export live sheep to New Zealand for them to kill it. That's not how it works. They tell people, if you want to export New Zealand animal food or food that is derivated from animals, it has to be processed here in this country. So important to know that legislation if you are in that industry. But research your industry, because legislation will be always different depending the country you are selling to. In some countries, you cannot export alcohol. So those sort of things. In some countries, adult entertainment is forbidden too. So in some countries, you cannot play casino, or you cannot do gambling. You know what I mean? So if you are a gambling company and you want to export your services, and in that country that is forbidden, you will hit the wall. So that sort of things are important to realize when we do market research. What are the market legislations of the new market? Also, you need to find out what are the taxation systems. Some countries, guys, they protect their local industry from overseas competitors. Do you know that? Do you know that some countries, they protect their most important industry from overseas competitors? And how they do protect the local industry? What they do? Tell me. Nobody knows that?
Supporting
Taxes.
more the local products.
How? Yes.
Yeah, not letting a lot of worldwide companies come to the country by applying more effective legislation to them, like more money, like more taxes to them.
That's it. It's called protectionism. Protectionism is it's a trade practice that will make overseas competitors demotivated, because they will say, all right, if I need to sell this to $100, but once it passes the frontier, it's 140, because this is taxed at 40%, no one will buy that product in that country of destiny. Is that good? Is that bad? That is not the question, all right? I believe that protectionism is not good. Majority of cases is not good, because they make local producers very, very slow compared to the international market. And they make local producers a little bit lazy to innovate as well. So I prefer open markets, no taxes or very little taxes, but allowing the global market to participate in the local market. That makes the local market more competitive. There are some exceptions though. With food, for example, I will be protecting the local producers with food. You know, if you are a country that is producing milk and somebody else wants to import milk from overseas, I will be asking 35% of taxes for that milk from overseas, because we produce milk. So with food, I have a different perspective. But with cars, with technology, with computers, with fashion, with everything else, let the market to compete. But with food, okay, that's a different argument. Good on you, Juan Manuel. That is a really good answer to this question too. All right, so we need to tick that one too. And also you need to evaluate and you need to report on this. What is the access to talent and suppliers in that new market? Because if you go to a new market and you will not find workers, you will fail. You know, your endeavor of opening a new market will fail because you don't have talent in that new market. You don't have professionals that will be supporting your business. Also, you will need suppliers, you know, to participate in the value chain in that new country. Because it's not that we work in isolation. We need suppliers, we need clients, we need legislation. Suppliers, for you to have the materials, the technology, the software to run your business is important. And if those suppliers are not in the local market, that internationalization of your business will fail. So such a good question, that one, I believe. Such a good question, I believe. Why that is a good question? Because that question is telling you exactly everything that you need to include in your report. If you include that information in your report, that will be a good report for management to make a decision if that new market is a good one or not. You got it? You see the I don't know, like the angle of that question. It's for you to think, all right, cool. I'm not just filling boxes here with ticks. I am taking this information. So one day, if I need to do a market report, an international market report, now I know what needs to be included. Awesome. Awesome. We're about to finish this online quiz, guys, I believe. I think we did. No. Still have 2 more questions to go. At the end of this online quiz, I want everyone to submit this online quiz straight away. All right, for the question number 9, for the question number 9, let me check. And the question number 10, I will be dividing the group. I will be dividing the group in 2 for you guys to collectively work on that particular question, please. Just me 1 second, I will do that right now. All right, so please join your groups, please. Join your groups and question 9 and 10, work on those. Okay, Mauricio, Gillarat, Carlos, Orhan, Patricio, let me know you're in the class, please. We are doing a group activity now.
I'm here, Santi.
Why you didn't join the group activity, my friend?
I did, but Zoom didn't let me to go in.
Sorry, I cannot hear you, my friend. What's going on?
That I did, but Zoom is not letting me in on those groups.
Okay. Let me move you to a different group. Patricia. Yeah, he got it. He got it. Girarat, Mercedes. Mercedes, what's going on? Can you join your group?
Yeah, I just did, but we just finished.
Just finished. All right, cool. So I'm going to
Yeah.
close the rooms. No, thank you for letting me know. Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. We're closing the rooms now. All right, here we are. All right, guys, give me something for question number 9. What do you have?
Using a clear language, asking for feedback and monitoring as well, like evaluation like a monitoring of the recommendations.
Good, good. Like that's good. Using a clear and concise language that is easily understood is the right way to communicate your research. It's a really good strategy. It's not about using difficult, complex words. Quite the opposite. It's about writing your recommendations in a plain, simple, concise language. That's what we need to do. We also need to use visual aids, all right? If we can, add tables, graphics, to those stories that we are communicating, that will enhance the communication of your recommendations. When communicating your recommendations, guys, it is very important to be open to feedback. I agree with you. That's such a good point, Mike. Such a good point. Who was this, sorry? Who was giving us the answer? Who was the student?
I said the clear language, but
Good, good. Anybody say something about feedback as well? I miss it.
yeah, I said feedback as well and monitoring the changes. That's
Okay,
the three things I said.
Those are the keywords, all right? Using plain, concise, good, simple language has to be there in that answer. Has to be there. Because someone told us that for us to be professionals, we need to use argot. We need to use complicated professional words. Wrong, wrong. A professional explain things in a simple way. So first one, concise, clear, simple language. First one. Second one, asking for feedback. Asking for feedback. That tells a lot about how good you are. People that don't ask for feedback, they don't know what they're doing. This is a collective that is getting the company beyond its individuals. We are doing that. We are collaborating. This is a collective that is taking the company beyond, far beyond. All right. So that's it. Good one. Good one, Juan Manuel. I'm going to write a little bit about what Juan Manuel said in the chat, so you can use that as a baseline too. Give me 1 second. For those of you who are still struggling with that particular question, question number 9. So a bit of information in the chat for the question number 9. All right, and let's finalize this online quiz. We're almost there. We're almost there, and then we go for a break, and then we return and we do the observation. So question number 10. What are the potential challenges associated with implementing changes identified in the marketing recommendations? So what is the potential challenge? What are the potential challenges that are associated when implementing changes to your marketing recommendations? And guys, because when you receive feedback, that feedback could be telling you, you know what? This information is not correct. We need to add another variable to your market research, whatever it is. So that means that you need to change your report. So how can we address these changes to ensure successful outcomes in international market research? What is the answer to that? Anyone has anything to share for that particular question, please? What did you guys discuss in your groups? Question number 10.
Laws, legislation.
Yeah, but are you giving me the answer? Go ahead. Question.
It could also be like cultural differences or language.
Mm-hmm. What else? I will explain this one to you. I know it's a difficult question. I'm going to explain it, all right? Question number 10 is telling us, all right, what are the potential challenges associated with implementing changes? So the first challenge that you will need to deal with is company's culture, all right? The culture of the company. Some companies, they do not change. They keep doing what they have been doing for 10, 20 years. So if you want to implement changes, you may find a barrier. And that barrier, a lot of times, is the company's culture. All right? Talk about it. Talk about it, the company's culture. That is important to address, to ensure successful implementation of market research. Also, talk about how important it is to have a clear plan. A clear plan, for you to solve these changes, for you to overcome those challenges. It is important to have a clear market research planning that outlines the steps required, the timeline of your market research, the cost of that implementation, the resources that are required. Also, you need to add to that question how important it is to have effective communication skills, effective communication with relevant stakeholders and people in your team. You also may need to say, look, probably for us to implement changes, we need to provide extra training and support teams as needed. You may also say, look, we also need to monitor the implementation of that change, to make adjustments to ensure that the recommendations are fully implemented. Okay, you need to talk about that. That is the point of that question number 10. I know it's the most difficult one, but that is why it's the last one, because it's covering pretty much everything that we have discussed before. All right. So for question number 10, please. A little bit of help in the chat, but that is basically what I just explained it to you anyway. All right. So guys, with that question number 10, we have finalized this online quiz. What I need you to do, is to submit that online quiz now. All right, easy for me. You don't get behind everybody else. So for those of you who were working on that online quiz, go ahead and submit it. Luis Alejandro, welcome to the class, my friend.
Thank you. Sorry, I've been absent for most of the time.
That's okay. The class is being recorded, so you will find it in your Accelerate. And this recording is going to help you to solve the online quiz that we just finished, though. All right?
Perfect.
But you're good.
Great.
You'll be all right. Now we're going to a break, but then after the break, we do the observation. Don't miss it, Luis, because probably you can give me good insights in that observation. Guys, have a good break, 10, 15 minutes. We have finalized the online quiz. It was a long exercise, but we completed. After the break, we do the observation. Any questions? Yeah?
No, it's not a question. Just I have to leave after the break because of a commitment.
Do you know how to do the observation yourself?
I mean, I know how to.
How?
I don't know if I know the answers, but I know where that
Don't
is.
worry about the answers. You know how to do the observation yourself? How?
Yeah.
How?
Here I have it. I opened the observation here.
Any observation. No, any observation. Guys, I'm going to explain this to you for those of you that are doing the observations yourself. The observation should be done in class with your teacher. You understand that? Because I need to observe you. I need to see if you have the skills and knowledge before I mark you competent. So ideally, you should stay in the class. But I understand that you may need to go. So if you need to go, you need to do the observation yourself. How to do it? Each item is a question, and you need to provide proof of your knowledge about each item. You need to say, yes, I know about this because I read a book about it, because I participated in a conference, I talked in a conference about it, because yesterday my team were working in something similar to this question, because my boss gave me training about this particular item, and this is what I know now. Guys, otherwise you are not going to pass the observations. We have had a lot of issues in the last 2-3 weeks with observations that were marked not yet competent because you guys were not providing information for me to mark you. Now, if you don't know one item in the observation, just say, look, I don't have idea about this question. And then you and me, we need to meet to discuss it. All right? But Carla, the observation needs to be done in the next couple of weeks. If you don't complete the observation in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be troublesome for you, all right? If you need help, just get a one-to-one collaboration meeting with me. All right, guys, for everybody else, enjoy your break. I will see you in 15.
Santi?
Right, in 15 minutes.
What happens if I don't have like proofs to put in the observation?
That's when you need to talk to me, so I help you to get that knowledge. Because you may not have proof. That is the issue when you are a student. Some students, they are working for companies. Some students, they have previous degrees. It's easier for them. But if you don't have any experience about that item, say, Santi, I don't know. I'm going to catch up with you. And then we do it together. We do it together. All right? Cool. See you in 15.
Thank you.
Right. So for the observation, guys, what is the item number 1? Can anyone tell me?
It's, does the student have skills and knowledge to identify international market to research from brief or manager?
And this is what I told you when we started the class. We need to consult with the manager before we do the international market research. And once we have that approval from the manager, then we need to do it as soon as possible. So what you guys need to do in that observation item is to say, all right, yes, I have the skills and knowledge to identify that I need to do international market research once I have received a brief from my manager. And once I have received that brief or that instruction from my manager, then I will do the market research straight away. This is the sort of information that you need to provide to me for that question number 1. First, you need to tell me that you have the skills, and then you need to prove that you have those skills. How you prove it? By telling me, Santi, okay, I know now that before I do the market research, I need approval to do so. And once I have the approval, then I can start doing the international market research, but I will not delay it. I will do it as soon as I have the approval. Luis, go ahead.
Because I joined late, I'm not really sure like where I can find this assessment. So you can please guide me through the process of finding it. That'd be great.
Sure. So, Luis, this is the unit 432, Research International Markets. 432, Research International Markets. And if you go to your learning plan, please do so. I will show you where to find it. Yeah. Now go to your learning plan, Luis.
Right. So, and because there's like 2 of these areas marked, so I'm not sure. Like, I'm
So do
assuming
that one. That's the one that we're doing now. Yep. Click on that one. Now go to the learning plan. Now scroll down, please.
We went to Montreal.
Right. Yes, it's not there. All right. So go, Luis, go to the previous one, to the previous intake. Go to the one below. Yep. Let's see what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, there is no learning plan there. So go to assess to the tab that says assessments.
Yeah, let me just assessments here.
Yep.
Assuming.
Results. Just check on results. Scroll down. Probably you finished already this unit.
Wait, there's one to do.
Yeah, no.
This observation, which is what I'm assuming is the one we're doing.
No. That's not the one. That's not the one. Just Luis, stay with me. I will check that quickly. Okay. Everybody else, please start looking at the observation assessment. Read the questions, please. And Luis, just stop sharing the
Screen.
The screen. I will have to look at my end.
All right.
Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Luis, it seems like you did already this unit. It seems like you did this unit already, Luis. That's why, and also you need to catch up with previous assessments, and that's why this unit is not showing in that platform at this moment. I reckon you already did this unit in September 2022. This is what I have here. You did this unit from the 30th of September till the 7th of October. All right.
All right.
Yeah, it seems like you already completed this unit. Luis, I will check this though. What you have to do, get a one-to-one meeting with me. All right, send me an email. So we organize a one-to-one meeting because I think you already finished the program. We just need to have a look at everything that is there. Okay?
Yeah, because I remember when it first told me that I didn't reach the minimum satisfactory level. I just started doing a lot of assessments at once. And I just started doing them based on like whatever logic was going through my mind and perhaps a bit of ChatGPT.
We need to talk about that though. We need to talk about that though. So that's why let's do a one-to-one meeting. Send me an email because what I can see on the platform is that you have completed the program already. You just need to do some assessments, and I don't know. Sorry, the platform is just saying, look, until you complete these assessments, I will not show you anything else. I don't know. I need to check this with you.
All right. Also, I was sent a link to a page that allowed me to organize a one-on-one. So I believe I scheduled one for the, hang on, it was for the 25th, I believe. I had it in here just a moment ago.
25th of April?
In Calendly. Like it came with the Zoom meeting code.
Oh, all right. For the 25th, yeah?
Yeah, for the 25th from 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m.
Beautiful. I will see you there then.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you there.
See you there. Bye.
Right. I'm just gonna hang out in here just to clarify a couple
doubts. You don't need to be here
doubts.
because you have done this unit already. Yeah.
All right.
No worries.
I'm just gonna stay here in the back.
See you the 25th. Bye. Okay, guys. So question number 2, please. Let's have a look at the question number 2. Anyone can read the question number 2, please?
Does the student have skills and knowledge to identify and confirm research objectives and information requirements from brief or with manager?
All right, cool. So here for question number 2, you need to provide information that proves that you have skills to identify market research objectives. All right. What are the market research objectives that we discussed at last class and that we did just before in the online quiz? Who remembers one? So what could be one of the market research objectives? We discussed that in the question number 3 of the online quiz, I believe, or question number around that. So what could be a good market research objective?
Understand how the competitors work in the
First one, yes. So that is one. So I have the skills to identify market research objectives. For example, one objective is to analyze the competitors, to identify the competitors in that new market. That will be one. Another one, please.
The laws of a country that we're going to analyze.
Exactly right. So another market research objective could be to analyze, to identify the legislation related to what I sell in that new market. That's a good one too. Another market research objective, please.
Trends.
To identify the trends. To identify the trends. So my products, my services are aligned to those trends. Yes. Good on you. That's good, Lorena. Well done. So far we have 3 objectives. Identify trends, identify global trends, identify competitors in that new market, identify legislation that is related to the products, services I sell in that new market. What else? More objectives, please. What else?
Cultural differences.
To analyze what is the cultural difference in that market, because I may need to change a little bit my product, the color of my product. Probably the color of my product will not be adequate for that new market. Yeah. Also, probably the brand, you know, like some companies, when they move that brand to a new country, that brand in that new country means something that is harmful, that is not adequate. So that's a good one. The cultural differences between my market and the new market could be a really good market research objective. Another one, to protect my brand. What about if you do a market research that is orientated to protect your brand in that new market? That will be a really good one too. So to protect the brand, to identify direct competitors, to verify market prices for the product or service that you are exporting. What is the price of your product or a similar product over there that will allow you to define what is your pricing strategy. Another objective, to verify the viability of your business in that new country. That could be a good one. So for that item number 2, you need to tell me, yes, I have the skills to define market research objectives. For example, identify cultural differences. For example, identify legislation in the new country that could affect my product or service. For example, to identify competitors. For example, to protect my brand. All right, that's what you need to say in that question number 2. Remember, for observation assessments, you need to say, yes, I have the skills and knowledge. And then you need to prove it. It's like an auto-evaluation. You know what I mean? You need to tell me, yes, I know, Santi. And then I use what you're writing to say, yes, Maria knows about this or she doesn't yet. All right, guys, camera on. Remember that we are in an observation assessment. So please, everyone that is in the class, cameras on. We're about to finish. It's not too much to ask, I believe. Especially because other students have the camera on and this is a class. Camera. All right, question number 3. Question number 3, please. Anyone that could read that question number 3 to me, please. We are doing the observation assessment, guys. For you to pass this observation assessment, you need to participate. That is the point of it. So question number 3, anyone, please.
Does the student have skills and knowledge to identify and access sources of information relevant to international market research?
So question number 3, does the student have the skills and knowledge to identify and access sources of information? So let's talk about it. We have primary sources. We have secondary sources. All right? And we have something that is called syndicated sources. So I'm going to repeat this. We have primary sources of information. We have secondary sources of information. And we have syndicated sources of information. Primary, secondary, and syndicated. I'm going to write it in the chat so you know what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second to find the chat. So we have primary sources. We have secondary sources, and we have syndicated sources. All right, so if you are doing market research, what would be a primary source of information? Any research that you do yourself for the purpose of your market research. So you do it. Anything that you do, like a survey, like a questionnaire, like a any exercise, like you travel to that country to experience what it's like to do businesses in that country, that is primary sources of information. Anything that you do, interviews, you discussing opportunities with someone in that market directly, like you participating in a show or in a conference and you discuss your endeavor, your idea of internationalization, and then you get feedback from people in that audience. That is primary. So, but what is the problem with primary? It's very expensive. It's very expensive because you need to do it yourself for the purpose of your market research. That's primary. When you run market research yourself, that is primary information. The result of it, the outcome of it, primary information. What is secondary information? What do you think? Lucas, what is secondary information? What do you think?
Feedback from customer.
What is that? What is that?
What is feedback?
What depend? Sorry, I cannot get it. Lucas, tell me, what is secondary information, my friend?
Secondary information can be maybe like I don't know what I think. It's like, it's not the main idea, but it's like useful information also.
It is useful. Where do you find it? You find it in the internet. You find it in a paper. You find it in a magazine. You find it in YouTube. You find it from a different market research that someone has done before. Imagine that someone has done a market research before in that country and you use that market research. That is secondary information. Maria, is that clear to you? Primary information, you do it yourself, but it's very expensive. That is the problem. Because you need to be in front of it. You need to do the interviews. You need to do the research. You need to get the results on an spreadsheet. You need to do the analysis. You need to do recommendations. The outcome, though, is very accurate because it's up to date and because it's pointing directly to your service or products, but it's very expensive. Secondary information is not as accurate, though, but it's very, very fast because you find it straight away in the internet. You know, I told you last week about Google Trends. Remember that I told you about Google Trends? So any information that you find in Google Trends is secondary information. Any information that you read in the internet is secondary information. It's cheap, it's fast, but it's not as accurate as primary information. Big companies, when they have the budget, they do primary. But startups, entrepreneurs, they don't have the budget and the time, they do secondary. What is syndicated information? That is when you call an expert. Like you reach KPMG, you reach Deloitte, you reach Accenture, you reach Ernst & Young. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what is Ernst & Young, if you don't know what is Deloitte, if you don't know what is KPMG, if you don't know what is Accenture, please use this as a call to action, because these are market research companies, consultancy companies, and they sell their reports. If you go to their websites, they sell their reports about different industries all over the world. If you want to know how much people consume milk in New Zealand, there is a market research syndicated that KPMG has done, so people can find out if that is an attractive market or not, without going there, but also without having to consult in the internet, because internet always have information that is not correct. But syndicated information, information that comes from consultancy and market research firms, like KPMG, Accenture, Ernst & Young, AMP, and many others. But it's a bit expensive. We're talking about $3,000, $4,000 for a report. You know, if you go to one of these consultancy companies and you want to download a report about a particular market, you have to pay $3,000, $4,000 in Australia. Maria, is it clear to you what is primary, secondary, and syndicated? Did you know about syndicated before?
No, I didn't.
But now you know, yeah?
Mhm.
If you need to do market research and you don't have the time and don't have the budget to do primary, but also you are not okay with the secondary because it's not up to date, it's not accurate, you may say, you know what, I'm just going to call an expert, a consultancy firm, a market research firm, and they sell the reports online.
Yeah,
And you buy the report, $3,000, $4,000, but straight away you have information there that is good one, that is fresh, that has been audited by an expert. Okay, good. So that is for that question, guys. You need to talk about this in the observation assessment to pass the observation assessment. All right. Question number 4, please, anyone? Question number 4.
Students have skills and knowledge to analyze information sources according to task requirements.
All right. So before, the question number 3 was about you identifying sources of information. Now that you identify them, now you need to analyze them. And what you need to do is to think in terms of time and budget. So how much it is to get information, how long it will take me to take that information. I'm going to repeat it. For question number 4, for you to analyze sources of information, you need to do the analysis using 2 variables. One is time, and the other one is budget. How long it will take me to take that, to have that information, how expensive it will be. And then you will define if you are going to be using primary information that is expensive and is time consuming. You need 3-6 months to get to the point of having outputs, data, insights. Or you may say, I'm going to do secondary because I don't have a budget and I need that information right now. But what is the cost of it? The information may not be accurate. So you need to be aware of it. Or you may say, I don't have a crazy big budget, but I have some thousands. I'm going to reach out a consultancy firm and they will provide a report to me in 2 weeks. All right. So this is the analysis part. It's according to your task requirements, the urgency of your information needs, which information source. You will analyze which information source. Primary, secondary, or syndicated is more adequate to your market research. And remember, for question number 4, you need to mention these 2 variables. Time, how long it will take me to get the information, how expensive it will be. So question number 4, you need to say, yes, I have the skills and knowledge. Now I know that if I need to analyze sources of information, I need to do that analysis is using 2 variables that Santi told me. One is the budget that I have. The second one is the time that it will take me to get that information. And with these 2 variables, time and budget, then I could define I need to do primary, secondary, or syndicated. Is this clear? Guys, if you came to our previous class, it's not this difficult. All right. If you didn't came to our previous class, go to the recording in Accelerate, to watch it. So you have more skills and knowledge to answer these observation items. All right, cool. Question number 5. Question number 5, Lorena, please.
So just a second. Does the student have skills and knowledge to apply statistical analysis tools to information to identify trends?
All right, so let's talk about this. A statistical analysis, it sounds like a very difficult thing, but in reality it's not. What we need to do is to understand 2 very important statistical analyses. The first one is called average. And the second one is called a standard deviation. That's it. So I'm going to repeat it. For us to do market research properly, we need to identify what is the average behavior of a population. What is the average money they spend in watches? Let's imagine that I am selling watches, okay? So what is the average money my target market in Singapore spends in watches? And believe me, the average money in Singapore will be extremely high compared to the average money that people spend in watches in Bolivia. It's going to be totally different. And that's why you need to get to the point to knowing what is the average. People spend $20 in some countries. In some other countries, like Singapore, they spend $3,000 average in watches. Telling you this because I did this market research for watches before. So what is the average? Once you add all your answers in terms of how much people spend in watches, then you get to an average. So if one people spend 20, the other one spend 30, and the other one spend, I don't know, let's say 20. One spend 10, the other one 30, the other one 20. What is the average then?
Sorry, Santi, could you repeat again what you say? What we need to do is to understand 2 different what? You say 2 names, but I cannot remember.
Average, and standard deviation. I'm going to write it in the chat. All right. Standard deviation. So
Santi?
what is, yeah, Maria?
Sorry, I have to go now, but I will complete it with the recording after.
Go ahead.
You.
Thank you as always. Bye.
Bye.
Average. If someone is spending $10, let's imagine that you have in your population 3 objects of study, 3 people. One person is spending $10. The other one is spending $30. And the other one is spending $20. What is the average people spend in watches? You don't know? 20.
20.
20. Yeah, Mauricio,
20.
you okay with averages? Mauricio?
Yes.
All right, standard deviation, anyone knows? How far from the average an object of study will be? So if the average is 20 and you have someone expending 25, that person is 5 points positive above the average. That is the deviation of it. And then you may have someone that is spending just $5. So what is the deviation? 15. And then you can find out, all right, if this is my average, what are the margins that I can go up and low in price? So for us to do market research using statistical analysis, please don't forget about it. You need to use two techniques. One, finding the average, and the second one, finding the standard deviation. Right? So please talk about this in that observation item. Average and standard deviation. All right, question number 6, please. Come on, guys, we're about to finish. Let's just continue with this. We're about to finish. Come on, guys.
Does the student have the skills and knowledge to analyze factors that influence trends?
All right. So, yes, I have the skills to identify and analyze trends. And I know what factors could influence trends. So, guys, one factor that influences trends the most is the economic factor. The economic factor. If people in that population, they have money, what is the trend? The trend is to expend money in luxurious items or items that are not needed to fulfill basic needs. What are the basic needs? Anyone remembers from previous classes? Basic needs? Maslow hierarchy of needs. What is the most important need of any human? What is the most important need that you have?
To eat.
To eat, that's it. Second one, to sleep, to have a roof. Third one, to have access to society. Fourth one, auto-realization, education, buying things that you don't need, but you want to show up. So if the economy is positive, is good, that influence the trends. People buy more watches, people buy more jewelry, people buy more education packages, people travel more.
Okay, so one of them is economic.
One of them. One of them.
There, yeah.
What is the other one?
Okay.
The culture, the music, the movies. That really, really has an impact on trends. The pop culture.
And religious as well?
100%, 100%. Not in all countries though, but in some countries like Muslim countries, that is a huge, huge factor in terms of what are the trends in that market. 100%. Religion could be a really good one too, but again, not in all countries. Health. Like, I don't know if you have noticed, guys, but pharmacies, they are so popular nowadays. Like, you see more drive across any commercial strip in Melbourne, and you will find 2-3 more pharmacies compared to 3-4 years ago, because right now is such a good business. So health and lifestyles, they really have an impact in trends. Also, and with this I finish, politicians, artists, and influencers, they really have an impact in trends too. Politicians, because they may say, you know what, starting tomorrow, no more plastic bags. In Australia, that happened like 2-3 years ago. No more plastic bags. And then supermarkets, they stop using plastic bags. Why? Because there was a politician that moved people to do that, probably through legislation, okay? But also artists, you know, if a very famous artist is wearing a particular attire, people will follow up. Not everyone, but a lot of people will, because that's why they are important for us to analyze trends, because they are popular. That's why I was talking about pop culture. Pop culture, which is popular culture, is a really good indicator of trends. And of course, influencers, especially with social media, they have a big impact. And that's why you as a marketing manager or marketing coordinator, that's why you tap into influencers to communicate the benefits, the features of your products and services. All right, good. So you need to explain that in that question number 6. Question number 7, anyone? Question number 7 of the observation item, please. Of the observation assessment, sorry. Come on, guys, we're about to finish. Question number 7, anyone?
Does the student have skills and knowledge to document and report identified trends and factors that influence trends to relevant personnel?
Right, so now we need to say, yes, I have the skills to document, to report my findings to people that will use this information to make decisions. All right, and an important part of this report is the identification of trends. So remember that I told you, for you to define, for you to develop, for you to manufacture a good report, that report should be the result of your analysis, but also the feedback from personnel, the feedback from stakeholders. So you need to disclose in that question number 7 that you have the skills. What are the skills? All right, now I know what are the trends. I'm going to share these trends with relevant personnel. I'm going to ask them what they think about those trends. I will read the policies and procedures of this company, and then I will use that information as well to finalize my report, to make it more useful for people that will be reading it. All right, so for question number 7, super important to say, yes, I have the skills to document and report trends, and those skills could be demonstrated because I know now that if I want to do this report, I will get feedback from personnel, from managers. What do they think about those trends? Should we follow those trends, or should we say, no, that is a trend, but my company keep doing the same. I will not follow it. You need to talk in these terms for question number 7. Question number 8. Does the student have the skills and knowledge to develop marketing recommendations from research? Yes. Now you know that the first thing that you need to do is to prepare your research. The second thing is to conduct the research. And the third thing is to finalize the research. So that's what I want you to say in the question number 8. Yes, I have the skills to develop marketing recommendations, because now I know how to prepare my international market research. Now I know how to develop, how to execute the market research, and now I know how to finalize it. Of course, everything that I do has to follow the organizational policies and procedures of the company I am working for. All right, for question number 9, you need to provide information to demonstrate that you have skills and knowledge to communicate marketing recommendations. All right, what I told you, what was that I told you? What is the best way to communicate data when you do market research? Who remembers?
Through storytelling.
So that's what you need to say in that question. All right, now I know that data, raw data itself, is not enough for me to engage with my audience, for me to get these results through people's minds. I need to use data to build up stories that will be more digestible by people, that will be better received by my audience. So that's the sort of things that you need to provide there. Well done, Lorena. Great. That makes me feel so positive about you gaining the knowledge that you need to pass this observation item. So well done. That's what we need to do for question number 9. For question number 9 as well, if you need to change something because of the feedback is telling you, look, don't do that, do this. Now you know that you need to work with people in the company. And sometimes the culture of the company is not open to changes. So you need to provide training for people to be able to change. You may need to invite an expert to talk to people in the company about that particular change. Why not? All right, good. Finally, question number 10. And with this, we finish the observation item. And with this, we finish this second class of develop international market research. All right. So item number 10. Does the student have the skills and knowledge to implement changes identified in the marketing recommendations? All right. So think about it. Think about that one for 2 minutes. All right, for question number 10 of the observation item, please have a look at the chat. And I will give you a hand with that question number 10. So you may say, yes, I have the skills and knowledge to implement changes. However, implementing changes can be challenging as it may require changes to processes, systems, and even the company's culture, which is what I was telling you before. You may say, look, I have the skills and knowledge, and I will ensure successful implementation of those changes. How? By having a clear plan that outlined the step required for me to do those changes. I will also use effective communication with relevant personnel to implement those changes and so on. So if you have a look at the chat, you will find plenty of information to answer the question number 10. I'm going to, can you have a look at the chat to tell me if the answer is there for question number 10? Oh, it's now.
So, however, implementing can be challenging. What else?
Have a look, yeah, implementing changes could be very challenging, yeah. Because it may require changes to processes or systems in the company. And you may need to work with people to change the company's culture before you implement those changes. And it is very important that you have a clear plan to implement those changes. And it is very important that you have good communication skills to invite people to implement those changes too. So in the chat, you will find a little bit of what I wrote for that particular question number 10. Beautiful. All right, guys, I'm going to call the attendance now. So stay with me so I can do the marking, and then we finish with the class. Stay with me. Okay. Sudarat, in the class? Yes. 'So you've been marked.
Yes.
Let me check that you here. Beautiful, so you mark it. And Suara, you did good because you log in using the platform, so your marking is automatically done. That's good. Mauricio, you in the class as well.
Yeah.
All right, you didn't join using the platform, but I just mark it as you attending, so that is good.
Thank you.
All right, so Lorena. Lorena, you mark it, all good? Mercedes, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You mark it too. Carlos Samuel? Carlos Samuel, you here too, so let me find you. All right, Ancana, you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Beautiful, so you've been marked too. Patricio, you here?
Yes, Santi, I'm here.
Patricio Ruiz. Beautiful, you mark it now. Okay, missing anyone?
Missing me? Yeah, Natapapa.
Okay, yes. Can you talk again? Sorry, just need to find you in the camera.
Natapapa.
Yep.
Natapapa.
Yeah, got it. You mark it now.
Yeah.
You mark it now. All right, anyone I'm missing?
Okay, thank you.
No
Yeah.
worries. Guys, thank you so much for coming to this class, all right?
Thank you. Bye,
Hey, Miss.
Santi.
I will see
Hey,
you.
Santi, can I ask you a question?
See you. Bye-bye.
Sure, buddy. Just give me 1 second. Anyway, I will see you guys next class. If you need to ask me a question, stay. But I am close the recording now. So have a good one.